I'm hoping I didn't scare you too much with my raw henna look. Yep. And the reason being, I am going to show you a henna style makeup technique in this video. Yeah. If you're a late male to female transgender, like me, in my case, I transitioned after I turned 40 years old, then you may find this video to be helpful. Yep. Okay, so here's a little quick concept on makeups. Okay, if we imagine a slider, the side being masculine, the side being feminine. If we're a woman, a cisgender woman, then we'd probably be on this side. But if we were a man, a cisgender man, we'd probably be on this side. To get a woman, I'm talking about male to female transitioning, so in the beginning transitioning days, right? So in the beginning days, transitioning days, as a male to female transgender, we may be on like somewhere on this side, especially if we were late transitioners. If we were young enough, for example, in my case, if I, like in my 20s, I could, like, my appearance was like pretty much right in the middle. So I could either look more masculine or I could either look feminine, and that was so cool.
If it weren't for my ego and my sense of insecurity preventing me from coming out, if I had come out back then I would be able to just completely go stealth. Yep. Right now, yeah.
Getting back to the slider here, beginning male to female transgender, transitioning in the later years, the slider might be on this side, right here, right? The slider thingy might be on this side of the range. So to get a woman to look more attractive, the slider would need to move towards the masculine range, but not past the center, because past the center, the woman would then look more like a man. To get a man to look more attractive, the slider would need to move towards the feminine side. Past the center, the man would look more feminine, more like a woman. So that's pretty much a little rule, right? A little general concept. When I transitioned back in 2018, I needed to use makeup to help soften my features at the time. So I was trying different techniques, and then I came up with something similar to what I'm about to show you here in this video. Yep, and it has worked out quite well for me, not only in helping me soften the features. The techniques were practical, they were easy to apply. I could like finish the whole thing in a relatively short amount of time, and they were quite practical in a durability sense. So because back then, at the time, I was working with like heavy industrial machines in heavy industrial environments, I needed the makeups to be able to last the whole workday, and I couldn't afford like having to clean up and put moisturizer on, put foundation on, and do all kinds of things. Spend an hour in the bathroom. During the work hours, I needed to get work done at work. So yeah, so my little technique here that I'm about to show you has actually worked out well for me. So I figured I'd post this video. Yep. You're welcome to give this technique a try. feedback, suggestions, comments are welcome in the comment section below. I'd be curious to know. Yep. Okay, so I've already done the prelims, meaning I've already added face cream as the very first layer, and then I've already added foundation as the next layer. Makeup can be used in lieu of foundation. Yeah, so Makeup 101, if you're new to makeups, is skin layer nice and cleansed and all washed, and then face cream, and then makeup or foundation, and then all the blushes and all the powdery stuff can go on the topmost layer, right? So just basically 3 layers to be aware of, and that can be a really nice starting point if you are new to makeups.
Okay, so in my case, a little note about face creams. My face is naturally oily, so right now I'm using face cream that's intended for normal to oily skin. If I were to use face cream meant for dry skin, then that can cause my face to become even more oily. Yep, on the surface. Yeah, which was what kind of happened when, like, during the beginning days of my transitioning, I wasn't aware of the different types of face cream. So I was like, oh, face cream is face cream. And I bought face cream that was meant for dry skin. And after I applied the face cream and I applied the foundation, under the foundation was this face cream that was like meant for dry skin. So the skin layer, the cream layer underneath was like this really oily layer, and that caused the makeup layer to be really hard to manage, the foundation layer to be really hard to manage. So when I was applying like eyeliners and stuff, they were like melted crayons. They would just slide off and they were smearing like crazy. And so yeah, and then it took me a while before it dawned on me that I may have been using the wrong face cream. So I switched face creams to face cream that was intended for normal to oily skin, and that worked out quite well for me. Yep, at the time.
Okay, that's said. I'm going to start with eyeshadow. So I'm using a disclaimer. I'm neither sponsored nor endorsed by any of the product brands shown in this video for this video. Yep. Okay. So I'm using Revlon palette. I'm using this little toothbrush holder, and it's come in quite handy to store a couple of brushes, my liquid eyeliner, and a little eyebrow pencil for minor touch-ups. Yep. 2 brushes, one's a rounded bristle. This is for, you'd see in a bit. And this is the kind of like sharp edge bristle, but not too short. It's a little bit like, it's about the same length. Over the years, I learned that I didn't really need to use the other brushes, so I've kind of narrowed the brushes down to like 2, and it's a lot easier to manage. Okay, first brush I'm going to use is this little brush here. I'm going to pick on the darkest palette. Oops. Darkest palette. gonna go right ahead and just I like to flare it up a little bit like that. Similarly on the other side. Add a little bit.
So if this side is going like that, I like to get the other side to be equally asymmetrical. Vice versa, you know, if I were using this side as reference, I like to get this side to be equally asymmetrical.
So far so good, right? Okay, so here I have the shiny glittery, you know, gold thingy. I'm going to use that on the lower lid. But the way I'm applying it is I'm going to let it cover some ways into the pink area. Yeah, so it's going to be like a fusion between, if this is the pink area, there's going to be some coverage there, so it's not going to be like an abrupt border. It's going to be like a mesh, so it's smoother. It's just smoother blending between the natural flesh and the makeup. Yep. The gold, it looks gold on the palette, but when it's on skin, depending on the pinkness of the lining area, the gold can actually look more like, you know, the pinkish, you know, it's, that's the color. It's a little bit, it tends to become like, it tends to appear a bit more pinkish. Yep. Okay, so the basic is done already. Pretty simple, right? All right. Now for the next stage. In my case, I like to lighten this area up a bit more to help kind of bring out the recess area to appear less recessed by applying lighter tint, like white tint. If you don't have white, if you've got like light beige or something, or pearl, that should be fine as well. So this, see what I'm doing here is I'm kind of going into the dark area and kind of blending in with the dark area, not entirely, but just on the border in the dark area. So there's a smooth transition between the two. Apply a little bit more. Get this area nice and light. So far so good. Yep. And on the bottom here, I'm going to bring out this area. See here, this highlight can actually be used to help shape the little the curve thingy. Yep. There. Both sides are nice and symmetrical. Right? Yeah. So Looking nice so far. That's pretty much done with eye makeup. If we want to accentuate the eyelids even more, and we want to darken the eyelids, we can use any dark palette basically. Here I have my old Coverco classic palette, smoky, and I like to use the dark purple thingy. There, see the difference between the two eyes? This side looks a bit more aggressive now. When applying this, we don't want to go into the blended areas because
we don't want the white areas to become gray, because the gray can cause the appearance to look into appearing more recessed, right? We want the highlight to stay, in as a nice highlight, right? I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's the best way I can explain it at this time.
So there, eye makeup is basically done. I could add like eyelashes, mascara, but at this time, at this stage, the general eye makeup is already done and it's looking quite presentable, right? Eyebrows. Revlon liquid eyeliner, black brown, I think the color. That really depends. I mean, I like black brown, and my eye color is kind of similar. It's actually really dark burgundy, so yeah. And if I'm feeling really well and healthy and happy, then there's this like chrome looking coat that seems to form on it, and then it's more like a dark burgundy, chrome looking dark burgundy. It's kind of cool. Okay, there. The tip is, I like this tip. It's nice and solid and pointed, so it's easy to manage. So here, I'm going to look at the two eyebrows, where they end. So if I were to pick one.
See, my eyebrows, one is a little bit lower than the other. So in my case, I'm going to draw this one a little bit higher than the natural eyebrows, and this one a little bit lower than the natural eyebrows. So they can both kind of meet up at kind of like similar levels, right?
So I'm going to start with this side. Sometimes I like the eyebrows to appear a little more spreaded apart. But if I wanted a more serious look, I can probably draw the eyebrows a little bit closer to the center, and that can help with a more aggressive look, a more serious look.
Serious, not constipated.
Okay, this side. And this position is also can also play a factor. There, the skin is not completely a completely flat canvas. So if I were holding it in this position and see the little bump here in between the eyebrow and, you know, the brush, well, if I were holding it in this position, I could get the marks, the paint on the little slightly embossed area instead of the area where I want to draw the eyebrow. Yep. All right. Good, good. So far, so good. Now to add some volume to the eyebrows. First, I'm going to tidy up the top area. And start off here. Sometimes I like thick eyebrows. Sometimes I like thin eyebrows. It really depends on like my mood at the time. But right now, I'm not sure what mood I'm in. There. No smudge like this, nothing to worry about. I'm going to go get a little Q-tip, and that's moistened with a bit of tap water. So one side's moistened, the other side's dry. Point, and I like to rotate it, right? Rotate. Rotate as I wipe. There, done. Then I can clean it up with the dry side. There, see, nice and clean.
No biggie.
Good, right? Similar. Sorry. Blend in. Yep. Okay, looks like this eyebrow is in the center. This eyebrow needs to move this way a little bit more. So, minor alignment, adjustment. Getting the two shapes to be kind of similar. There. A little bit extra volume on this side. There. Done, right? Done. Okay, now for the lipstick. I'm using Revlon 755. So the trick with lipstick is, I'm gonna go get my darker lipstick. Trick with lipstick is I like to use the lighter kind of nude color.
And this way I don't have to care if it gets a little bit, you know, outside of the lip borders.
I could just really, I could just apply it really quick and kind of roughly apply it without having to worry about like doing meticulous little lines and stuff. Yep. Did you see how quick that was? Like, done, right? Right. This is Revlon 760. Should be 760. Yeah, 760. 760. Yep, 760. Okay, so that's a much darker color. Now this trick is I'm going to try to stay away from getting too close to the borders. Close enough, but not on the borders. Okay, upper lip done. Lower lip done, and I'm going to press the two lips together. And that's it. That's makeup. Pretty quick, right? The whole thing's done. And this is demonstration. So yeah, this is it's still under 25 minutes. Cool. Yep. Laters.